Bonin 52 with you. How are you, folks? It is a warm day in Pennsylvania. I'm getting ready to go for a ride. I got my Harley Boots on, my jeans, a mesh jacket, a full face helmet, and gloves. Now I do have, these are fingerless, but I do have full finger gloves, so let's just pretend I have those on right now. Boy, it's a lot of gear, and it's hot out. Do I really need all this? Alrighty, folks. My question of the day, or what I really want to talk to you about, is gear. Motorcycle gear. Now, I want to start by saying, let's specifically talk about the non-cold months. So those months where it's maybe summer, late spring, early fall, where you don't need a leather jacket or your heated gear. Let's talk about those times where it's nice weather or even when it's warm weather. Alright, so let's start with the Bodine gear. And let's see if this makes sense. Am I doing the right thing? And is it worth it? So, I can only talk for me, but let me tell you what I wear. So first thing I do is, I do have boots. Hopefully you can see those. Those are Harley Boots that I wear. They do go up over the ankle, so protect me from any burns and gives me some good stability. So I always wear my boots. I will tell you that I used to have an old pair of actually Harley boots that were really difficult to walk around with. I remember going down to Daytona, and they're great for riding, but once you start walking around, you're like, oh my god, these are killing my feet. So I went and bought actually new boots, and I did a video on that, so I'll link that in the description so you can check that out if you happen to be in the market. So I always go with boots, right? I don't think many people can argue with having the appropriate footwear is the right thing to do. So let's move on to blue jeans. Or I should say pants. So I personally ride with blue jeans on. Now, I know there are pants that are riding pants that give you extra coverage or extra protection against the road should you unfortunately have an accident where you're going to meet the pavement. And I don't, though. I wear blue jeans. It is pretty typical for me. So boots and blue jeans. That's where we go. So now let's move on to, what do I wear on days like today when it's hot? So I have on, I think you can see it, a mesh jacket. So let's talk about the mesh jacket. There are days, and I know when I was down in Florida for Bike Week, that I just wore a t-shirt. Now let me say that I especially wore the t-shirt because not only it was warm, but I was coming from Pittsburgh in March, and it was snowing and cold in Pittsburgh. So it was a no-brainer for me to, I just wanted to be, in a t-shirt, quite frankly, right? So, but now I wear a mesh jacket. Now, I will tell you that many folks say, what are you doing? Why the mesh jacket? So, a couple things, and then I got a question for you, is I do believe that the mesh jacket is cooler than just being in a t-shirt. Now, you'll have to go to the mesh jacket, folks, to find out exactly why, but I think it is. Now, I also believe that it helps stop you from getting sunburnt on your arms. And then potentially in the back of your neck, which is where I normally get it if I'm wearing a jacket. I got to make sure to put suntan lotion there. So I wear this mesh jacket, which keeps me cooler, gets the sun away. But in reality, is it safe? Is it safer than just being in a t-shirt? Okay, so normally you would think, yeah, it's got to be safer, right? But is it? I mean, there's no elbow protection or back protection in this thing. There's a pad there, but that isn't going to help, right? So is it really helping me from a safety perspective, or if I hit the pavement, right? One of my favorite places right there. Is that really going to help? So if I'm wearing, in my mind, if I'm wearing the mesh jacket to keep cooler and keep the sun off me, okay. I'm good with that. But does it help me from a safety perspective? Or sometimes, maybe if I'm just running something quick, maybe I'm running a 30 or 40 mile run. Easy to just, maybe I don't put on the mesh jacket. Maybe it's depending on the roads. I know when I was coming out today, I was actually going to do this vlog on a pretty twisty road just to try to make the point about gear, but I have a story that I'll share with you here at the end, so hang on for a few with me. So the mesh jacket is a question, so I got to ask you folks, do you think the mesh jacket, one, if you wear one, keeps you cooler? I'm a firm believer it does, keeps the sun off, but is it really safer, right, from a crash perspective? All right, so there's that. So there's boots, jeans, or pants, I should say, and some sort of jacket. And then there is gloves. Now, I have a bunch of different gloves. I do have a preference for the Harley Davidson gloves, only because I've compared them to many others. And I happen to like fingerless gloves. So, and I have a pair of full gloves in my saddlebag. And they do say that gloves will help you, because a lot of times you're going to have your arms or hands out to try to stop the fall. It's just natural that you are going to scrape up your hands unless you're kind of in a rolling type situation, right? So I'm not sure that the fingerless gloves is going to help that, or how much the gloves are really going to help that. So I don't know. Are they worth it? I mean, I like wearing them just from a grip perspective. I've watched a couple folks that do not wear gloves at all, and I don't know. I just feel comfortable wearing the gloves. So let me know what you do, and do you think gloves really help? And then the last one, and I don't necessarily want to get into a helmet debate on whether you should wear a helmet or not. In the state of Pennsylvania, you don't have to wear a helmet, and even though I'm a proponent of wearing a helmet, and I think everybody should, it's a great thing about living in America. Well, in America, in most states, is you get some choices. So that aside, I happen to be a full-face helmet type of guy. Now, I have multiple helmets. I got a 3/4 helmet and a half. But I prefer my showy helmet. And it has a face shield, obviously, and it's better for vlogging, I must say. And when I'm not vlogging, I have the face shield up. And these things are vented pretty good, and I really feel that I get as much air, or almost as much air, as if I had a 3/4 on, right? But I really do feel that these are safer. Now, I'm sure there's some studies on if you crash on your motorcycle, where do you land on your head? Is there, you land on your face? If you do, is the shield going to help? I'm sure there are statistics on that, and I probably should have looked that up before I started talking about it. But I'd like your feedback on that. I believe that it helps you, or it would help should something happen. So I'm a full helmet guy, and again, I definitely keep the face shield up almost all of the time, other than when vlogging. So, and I decided to do this video really for two reasons. One is I wanted to really get your take on what other people do, right? As well as share with. Well, I'm getting geared up in my garage, sweating my butt off because it's so darn hot out. People in Florida are probably like, pal, you don't even know what hot is. But so that's number one. And number two is when we're down at the West Virginia Motovlogger and subscriber meetup, the day before, a couple folks came in and they were on the back of the Dragon, and two of the motovloggers that are friends had incidents, right? And both went down. I will tell you that, first of all, they're okay, which is the most important things. The bikes need a little repair, but they were drivable. Isn't that pond beautiful? So I will tell you, I don't know if the one guy had on riding pants, but it definitely seemed to have saved a lot of road rash, though he had some, right? So I'm not sure if his riding pants were on, or if he just had regular blue jeans. And I'm not going to tell you who these folks were. That's up to them if they want to share what happened to them on their video. And then another buddy actually laid his down, and according to another friend that was behind him, actually rolled some, and unscathed, right? Bike damage, sore, but overall okay. So that really started me thinking about, I was almost at that point where I'm like, I'm not going to put the mesh jacket on. And then those two incidents happened, and it really kind of made me think of both of these guys could have had much more damage. Both wearing helmets, by the way, of course. But it just makes me think, I'm glad they're okay. Motorcycles are motorcycles. I probably shouldn't be following this guy so close, so I'm going to back off a little bit. He happens to be turning, so that's a good thing. But, I really like your take on... Boy, look at this mess right here. Talk about dangerous on motorcycles. And this guy's just like, yeah, just pull out. I don't care. So, I'm just thinking about how this person in front of me really needs a lecture. But I can't do it. It's just, I'm feeling my zen. I'm going to eyeball him, that's for darn sure. But I really would like your take on that. So what kind of gear do you wear going out? What do you think about, does it make you safer if you were in an accident? And, I'll tell you what, after you see a couple of folks that have had one, would that change your mind? And are my gloves and my mesh jacket making a difference or not? So if you don't mind, you can leave your comments below. I would really appreciate that, because I would like your feedback, and because I think the gear is important. So if I'm going to wear it, I probably should have and make sure I have the right gear. So, all right, folks, that is it for Bodine today. I'm going to continue enjoying this beautiful day, and appreciate you checking in. And, gear really hits my main message always. Please make sure to be safe on and off the motorcycle. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, folks.